Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our test server, guys, and it is day one. That is right, it is day one of the brand new Abyssal expedition. So the Abyssal expedition is up. I did the honorable enrollment. I usually do within here. You can see there are no players on the left side, which is kind of funny with Ulard. We have 13 of 35 players on this side with Oku. So I'm going to go left side. We're going to continue. Now, because it doesn't really make a big difference on which side you are going at this point. So essentially, if 35 players and that we only have 35 players in this Abyssal expedition, if they are all on that Oku side, when we kill Oku, the bosses are linked, so we'll actually go right over to this side. So we'll kill out Ulard and then allow us to go into the next part of the Abyssal expedition. So this I'm going to kind of break down. We've done this in the past. So when you first go ahead and join the Abyssal expedition, this very first plot you want to cultivate. So you do want to put one of your heroes within here. It gives you this 20% bonus. You can see, guys, right now we are in the quiet time. So the reason for that is they want all of the Abyssal expeditions to start at the same time. So right now we cannot accumulate until essentially all of the Abyssal expeditions have begun, and then it will go from there. So hero selection, when you first come in here, you want to focus on your best teams. I'll repeat that one more time, guys. When you come in here, you want to focus on your best teams. Reason for this is when you start right now, you do not have any relics. You don't have anything in here. So again, you want the best team. So first of all, I'm going to do my Ainz and Albedo team. So we'll go with the tanks. We'll go with Arthur in here. I will go with Albedo in here, and there we go. We have a pretty good, solid Ainz team out of here. Now, there is kind of one variation that some players do within here. Some they'll do Merlin. As you can see, I do not have Merlin, so I'm going to do Rowan in here. So that will be my main support hero. Of course, Ainz being the primary damage. And then the other one they do in here, which is kind of unique. Some players do put Daemon in this formation, or some players do run the God Comp formation based on what you see here. And then, of course, again, running Daemon in the God Comp team, which can work incredibly well. Now, additionally, a lot of players also do run two support heroes in here. Again, if I had every single hero within AFK Arena to play with, it would be a little bit different. I would run the Ainz team comp in here. I'd run a Daemon Grez team comp. Or a lot of players will actually run Ulna with Grez in here. So they'll actually do the combination of Ulna Grez. You can see, guys, we don't have Ulna built up high enough to actually be effective in here. But overall, I'm going to go with Daemon. So this is going to be my starting team. We're going triple tanks. We're going damage. Again, we could have put another hero in here, which we still might. Because on the second team, I'm going to go with Grez. And again, looking at the strongest heroes I have in here, we can go Grez, we can go Oden, I can go with Pharrell in here. We can run even Daemon within this formation for Greyborns. We can run Silas in here, actually swapping for Daemon, and we can go double support in that first team. So you know what? I'm going to put Peanut in here, and let's see exactly how we really roll in here. So again, once you get your first spot, guys, you want to look at these village 3s. You can see right here, it is red. So there is an up arrow with the red, meaning the combat formation in here for a tier 3. Chances are I'm not going to be able to take this tier 3 at this time. Again, with this being on the test server, I'm a little more limited to the heroes that I have in here. Now looking at our map, so we are in the top left. So the first thing we want to do, and the big priority as soon as you gain, or as soon as you enter here, is join into the train. So what I mean by that is you can see the blue players that have linked in here. You want to stay linked, and you want to stay linked for essentially the first 24 hours is kind of the general rule of thumb in here. As you get closer, you want to go as far as you can, or essentially as close as you can getting to the boss. It looks like the first gate boss is all the way down here, guys. You want to try to get as close to him on the first day as possible. If we had 35 of 35 players come in here, we would already be linked. It would be super, super easy to get down there. But we're going to go through here and look at some of the sprawling grasslands in here. Now, when you come in here, you usually want to take this with 2 or 3 heroes, guys. That is it. Reason for this is you do not want to burn out all of your stamina taking land. You want to focus all of your stamina on taking villages. So village 1, village 2, village 3 are really the first priority. If you're a very heavy player, so if you have, a lot of resonating crystal levels, Village 3 will not be any problem. A lot of players even come out of the gate and can take these Town 1s, again, right out of the gate, depending on your level. Because remember, they use Marshal ratings. So the Vault of Time, the Abyssal Expedition, is based on the Marshal ratings that you get in here, which means a lot of the heroes that you have are going to be super effective or efficient in here if you have them built. They keep the signature items, they keep the engraving, they keep the furniture bonuses. There's only a very select few of things that they do not keep within the formation, which again makes this incredibly powerful. Looking at where we're at to the enemy team, you can see we're way overpowered within this team. But you know what? Again, over on the test realm, the test server, I'm going to go ahead and run this. It's going to be super easy to get through here. We should literally just take it out in a couple seconds. So the big thing here, and you'll see when we beat a battle, you get 3 stars. You can see our 3 stars right here in the back. 1 star for defeating all the enemies, 2 stars for defeating the enemies within 30 seconds, and then our 3rd star, not losing any enemy heroes, which means that half of our stamina is recovered. So it was 12 stamina to fight. We got half of it back because we got all 3 stars. You are awarded 2 stamina for every star that you get in here, and then skipping the reset timer can make a difference if you have people who really want to be a tool and take the land or the place that you're trying to. That is the reason they put in that reset timer in there, is because people could essentially leapfrog over what you're taking. So if you are in common, if you are, in an Abyssal Expedition and you see that it is happening, you can skip the reset timer, which means, as you can see right there, it gives me a full, I believe, 50 seconds or 60 seconds that I have the ability to continue my progression on my own without another player having the option to take the land that I was going to take. Again, it is really about teamwork in here. If it is a life or death situation of you taking a tier 3, a tier 4, a tier 5, whatever it may be, guys, it's not that important. This is a massive team-based event, meaning that when you get in here, guys, the further that you progress faster together is really the only way you're going to take down these bosses. There's not a player strong enough that is going to have enough stamina, that is going to have all of the entire blessed relics built, that is going to be strong enough to destroy and kill everything within the Abyssal Expedition. It doesn't happen, and it can't happen. That is the way the Abyssal Expedition is built, and that's why you do have 70 players within the Abyssal Expedition to start and continue within here. So there we go, guys. So first one off, we are linked. Now we look at these Village 2s. So Village 2 is yellow, which means the probability of us taking them is relatively high, because short of linking together, the next goal, and honestly, the very next goal that you do want to look at getting to is taking 20 lands. The big reason for this, of course, is when it does go live. So when the quiet time actually ends, you will be getting a big essence resource income per hour. This one, we lost Damon. It looks like we lost 2 of the 3 stars in here, which means we only recover 2 stamina instead of the 6 stamina. But like I was saying, guys, is when this quiet timer ends, you want to make sure that you have the strongest land that you can possibly take, that you're going to have essentially 20 of 20 right now. When it comes to our settlements, getting 20 of 20 is really the priority. Now, with the grasslands, these ones you can actually drop and it will still hold on to it. Do not do this early, guys. You want to make sure that you have your 20 settlements first, even if 1 or 2 of them in this instance might be the grasslands. If you look, guys, the grassland still does provide 30 of your essence per hour, which again, it's better than nothing. I don't want you to be at, let's say, 15 or 20 because I dropped 2 of these grasslands, resulting in me getting less of a resource or less per hour of resource generation, meaning less essence. The faster and better that you really start out and you build these with the teams, the sooner you can get in here, guys, the better your overall progression is going to be. Now, a lot of players have said with the Abyssal Expedition, it is an absolute incredible amount of time that you have to spend in here. Honestly, not very true. when you go through, when you exhaust the stamina on all your heroes, this might be something that you log into, let's say theoretically 2 or 3 times a day is really all you can do. Stamina regeneration, you get a couple stamina per hour. So you don't really have the ability to come in here and farm the Abyssal Expedition for 2 or 3 hours. That is not the way it is meant to be played, and you cannot play it like that. So even looking here at our heroes, guys, you recover, I believe it is, and again, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I think it's like 4 stamina every 4 hours. Again, I'm probably way off on that one. But again, once you go through and you use all your stamina, I'm going to show you kind of the next part of this, which again, just some overall tips and tricks when you start the Abyssal Expedition. I know next week it should be up on the global server, so we'll actually have an opportunity to go through there with the guild. Running the Abyssal Expedition is a lot of fun. Guys, honestly, it can be an incredible, incredible game mode if you're in there. So there we go. We're 16 stamina each. We got a couple of our Village 2s. Village 3s, unfortunately, at this point are out of our reach, but we're sitting at 10 and 20, and we haven't used that second team, which is good. So looking here, guys, we took a tile, we got our essence, we got our settlements. Now we have to wait to get some relics in here. We also have to get some essence. Now, the big thing you'll notice, guys, is when you look at here, the common, you do get a possibility to pick up relics out of here. But when you get into the higher branches, so when you start getting into the Village 3s, you actually have the option or ability to gain rare relics, and then so on and so forth. As it gets to tier 5, I believe tier 5 goes to the elite relics, and then I think 7 and 8 actually go into the legendary relics. So right now, guys, we know Village 2s are going to be a feasibility or a possibility to take. So looking down here, guys, we can see where we have a Village 2 like this. We're going to take this one because it is closer to the boss. That is what we're trying to do at this point, is we are trying to slowly make our way or move our way down to the boss that we know is in the very low corridor. And if we have this tier or this land together, if somebody does drop a land, now again, with the movement tiles will stay, but let's say, for instance, in this chain that we're looking at right here, somebody drops this property right here. So this Village 1 gets dropped. It can break the entire chain, the entire link chain, because remember, the empty fields will stay green, but the chain itself will break if you drop an encampment, which again, that is not what we want to do. Also pay attention, guys, you can see the forest actually coming out here quite a ways. So we're going to have to path through this way, making sure. So there we go, guys. First team completely exhausted. So this one, we're going to go with the Ainz Albedo, and then I'm going to run a star in here for our damage mitigation. And you can see, guys, my heroes are on level 280. So based, again, on the resonating crystal level, so every 10 levels you are above 240, you do get a bonus. So you actually do get extra levels out of here based on where you are within the resonating crystal. So it starts with a base of 240. If I'm at 250, it will actually take me to level 241. Again, looking at the Marsha ratings, that is exactly how they do work, guys. So there we go. So we're not going to have the ability for anyone to go ahead and hop in here because we do have our timer still on. Couple heroes you really have to look out for in here. One, of course, Flora. Absolutely tough to deal with, guys. If you're fighting Flora, really, really tough to deal with. Couple of the healers like Namora can be troublesome, but Thorin in here, very, very hard to kill. Brutus is another hero, guys. Brutus is incredibly hard to kill in here. Then, of course, some of your Celestial heroes, when you fight heroes like Zafriel, can be incredibly hard to fight. So make sure and you pay attention to the teams that you're fighting in here and know exactly, if you can beat the team, depending on the level of the team and also the difficulty of the team. The other big thing in here, guys, is you can utilize teamwork. So I know it's kind of an idle concept in a foreign concept in an AFK arena game, but essentially when you start getting to having double teams, which starts at, I believe it is tier 5, you start having to fight 2 teams. You can have one player come in here, take out the first team. You can come in, take out the second team. That way you do have these strongest teams fighting kind of over and over and over, versus you having to put in a very strong team that you have built and then a weaker team that you don't quite have developed yet. Again, it makes it incredibly easy to go through here and actually, go through as a guild or with a guild, whatever it may be. And it does make it, again, incredibly easy to go through here. Progression in this game mode can be incredibly easy. They also do have the Star of Dawn. So the Star of Dawn, of course, is only available for it's not available for the casual players. It's available for the honorable enrollment only. So right here is the Star of Dawn. You can see it in the top left. So if somebody does join, you can see as a Star of Dawn. So what it does is it puts the top 10 players that have joined this Abyssal Expedition. If you have not taken a place yet, so if you haven't taken an encampment, if you haven't done anything within here, you can actually go ahead and be a viewer, or you can go ahead and follow someone, giving them the spectator advantages. Military members, so the ones that you're following, stamina recovery of all militia members increased by 6%. Star of Dawn players who have a spectator, for instance, these two players here, get more stamina. Leveling up Star of Dawn to Prince title to unlock 5 extra expeditionary. That is right, guys. If you're going through here and you are a Star of Dawn, you will still get the benefit out of there, because it really does help the expedition if you have players in here who are spectating. Because remember, you are ultimately supporting the 10 best players within the Abyssal Expedition, which can make a huge difference. That can really be the difference between winning or losing an Abyssal Expedition if you do have 10 extra players. Now, one big thing to remember is if you do the Star of Dawn, you cannot play in the Abyssal Expedition. That is right, guys. You will forego the ability to play within the Abyssal Expedition if you do go that Star of Dawn route, which again, a lot of players that are a lower level, super beneficial to fall into that role and to utilize that role, really benefiting the rest of the Abyssal Expedition. It does help out for a player who either one, doesn't want to be active or is choosing not to be active within here, or you just want to pick up the loot, which essentially that's what it will do for you. Over here, guys, we'll continue picking up some of our village 2s. And I feel like right now we're poised in a pretty good position to get a considerable amount of our essence, because we've taken, I think, one tier 1 and then all, or pretty much tier 2s. Now remember, when you do get to the point of having 20 of 20, so there we go, guys. So that was our first goal, day 1, 20 of 20. If I could have taken some of these tier 3s, I absolutely would have. But now we can go back and we can look at the places that are not tier 2. So some of these sprawling grasslands, if we look right here, we can actually drop this one out. Boom, operation successful. It stays green, but now we have 19 of 20. That is going to give us the ability to go ahead and get more of these tier 2s, because this is what we want to farm. When you look at your open area, you get 30 an hour. Here you get 60 an hour, plus you can get the 20% bonus. So taking the village 2s versus taking the open land, huge, absolutely huge impact, guys, on the essence production that you're going to receive within here. And again, the better that you start this, the stronger that you do start out here, the better overall you are going to be in the long run because of the essence production. So there we go, guys. So a lot more essence production there. I think we have 2 more, but I am going to drop one of these, which was our very, very beginning spot. And you can see, guys, hero or a player is moving actually right down here right now. I'm going to grab another tier 2 right here. And that'll do it. That'll do it for this part of the Abyssal Expedition. So really, again, getting in here early, making sure that you build up your essence, you get your villages, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, really makes a big difference. And there we go. So stamina is out, just like we've seen before, guys. Now, one of the tricks, since the stamina is out, you can see we don't have 12 on any of our teams. We're going to drop them out. So we're going to drop out everyone within here. because we are now going to focus on a little bit different part of this expedition. So when it comes to your blessed relics, you have 5. You have our 4. You have Dur's Might, you have Fortitude, you have Celerity, you have Sorcery, and you have Substance. So based on these alone, you are going to pick one tree and one tree alone, which is going to be the power leveling tree. Now, when it comes to Celerity, Celerity is the easiest, guys, by far the easiest. We even have Awakened Thane to join us in here, but a lot of players do choose to go Might. Might is another pretty strong tree. Sorcery, again, is a really strong tree, but Sorcery does have a lot of issues with survivability, and it's because Sorcerers don't have the dodge ability that we see within the heroes in Dur's Celerity. So right now we are going to go just right here to our Ranger tree, and I'm going to bring in every single Ranger, every single Dur's Celerity hero that we can, and we're going to build a team out of here, guys. You can go through and pick which ones work the best. You can change it up. You can see heroes like Cecilia work incredibly well. Heroes like Kren work incredibly well. I'm going to put my version of Thane within here. Some of the heroes that I don't see working as well, Oscar doesn't work that well, even with relics behind him, unfortunately does not work very well. Verk actually does work very well because of the trap aspect of it. Athalia works well, Titus works well, Kaz, another hero, she can dodge magic, so kind of unique there, but Gwen doesn't work super well, Falks doesn't work super well. The rest of those, I know, again, Oscar doesn't work super well. Kelthar can because of the ethereal resurgence when he comes back alive when he dies. Ezio, I do not have right now, so I'm going to go with Drez. Drez, of course, we've seen is an absolute monster. Then I'm going to go with Theowen. Theowen has the ability to do damage from an immunity aspect, so this is going to be the team that I'm going to start with. Again, maybe not the most ideal Ranger Celerity team, but it is the team that we are going to go with. Now, because of this, guys, we're only buying relics within here. So every single relic that we get, we are just going to go ahead and focus and buy relics within this Celerity tree. Now, usually it is 1, 2, 3. You want to do this one first, then this, then this. Early game right now, it doesn't matter. You're going to buy them all anyways, and you're going to buy them all pretty quick. So even taking these 2 relics, guys, you can look at like a Village 3. A lot of times the red will go to yellow or the yellow will go to green, making it incredibly easy or much easier to get through here because you do have that higher relics. So once this does go live, we're building up a couple more relics, just need a few more. We'll be all the way to our next rank right here of Knight. We'll be able to build up our relics a little bit here. Then, of course, guys, the last thing that a lot of players do kind of respect is the Elder Tree. So the Elder Tree bonuses are there, guys. So building Dur's Celerity up, if I'm using the Celerity heroes, of course, we'll give them added bonuses when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition because you have more skills and abilities down here as well as the stats overall. So guys, that'll do it for just kind of a quick Abyssal Expedition beta. Cannot wait to see exactly where we land in this one. You know, we did the honorable enrollment. I like doing it. I usually play it on this account and then the YouTube account are the 2 that I really do the Abyssal Expedition. So guys, again, that'll do it for day 1 of the Vault of Time. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.